welcome back to My String of Pearls, or welcome if this is your first time tuning in. We are a knitting podcast, so if you don't like knitting, you're probably going to be really bored.
Well, we got a few other things.
My name is Mioka.
And my name is Linda.
Linda is my mom.
And this is my daughter.
We live in a small town in the Okanagan of British Columbia, where we have been treated to a beautiful sunny day today. It was 7 degrees in town when I was in. And the snow is melting and it's dripping. And
it's really warm for this time of year.
Yeah.
Yes, but we'll take it.
It's teasing us with spring that I know will not be here for a while yet.
We're going to get some more snow. It's going to get cold again.
Yeah.
Winter's not over.
So if you are a returning viewer, you can see that I have my mom with me again. And I don't know if this will be a permanent fixture of the podcast, but I'm very happy to have her back. And just wanted to say thank you so much to all the new likers, subscribers, thumbs up. There's been a lot of thumb down, but that's fine. And all the comments. Did you get a chance to read the comments?
Not recently, no.
Okay. The comments, because it's through my email, come to my email specifically. So you'll have to pop on the actual link of YouTube to read it there.
I will do that.
And do it that way. Yeah, so thank you again for your comments and your likes and everything like that. We really appreciate it, and it keeps us going.
Keeps us knitting more.
Keeps us knitting.
This is the time of year to do it.
Yeah. Happy New Year out there, 2020. We had a really good Christmas. Busy. A little bit of work in between holidays and stuff like that. And we actually had my side of the family here for brunch on Boxing Day, so that was really fun. And you guys had dinner.
We traveled here and there and got to see all the family, which was really special.
All our family is fairly local, so that's nice to be able to visit everybody. Yeah.
And it's nice to take those little pockets of time here and there, and then you can get more one-on-one time and not be so busy, which can get a little bit crazy.
I don't really feel like we had that. We had a very, very busy Christmas. I want to say New Year's, but Christmas, and we just were go everywhere. And next year we might be somewhere hot.
Yes. But New Year's this year, we had snow and the power went out and we had a party. Yeah. And we had candles and we just chat and ate. And the power came back on and we put All Lang Syne on and we danced.
That was New Year's Eve for you guys?
New Year's Eve for us.
New Year's Eve day I was supposed to work. And I woke up and it had been snowing all day, or all night I should say. I woke up with 13 inches of snow in our driveway. So I started to drive to work, and it's about a 25-minute drive. And I just thought, you know what, this is not safe. I turned around, I canceled my day, and I came home. And I have a couple of clips of walking in the snow to Mom's, actually, and I'll share that a little bit later on. But I came home, and I think by the end of it, we had over 20 inches of snow
It just didn't stop.
We were supposed to go up to Silver Star for, they have a torch parade and fireworks, and we just didn't do that. And then we lost power, like Mom said. We're just a couple blocks away from each other. Yeah. And we lost power, and it was actually really nice.
Romantic. It was really nice.
2019 was really busy for us with the wedding and buying the house, and my goals for 2020 were to be quieter and slower, and it was just kind of like the universe said, okay, here you go, no power, no cell phone service, and a beautiful day just to sit and relax, and it was wonderful knitting weather.
Yes.
It was
and
really
I actually
wonderful.
Put my quilter's ruler in the snow, and it went to 12 inches, and I had to get a longer ruler.
I think I can put a picture of that in here still.
Yeah. Holy moly.
Yeah, it kept going, and you had to change your ruler, too.
I did.
Yeah,
I changed my ruler. Yeah. So that was really funny. And
my
husband cleaned off the deck, and he went around the rulers. It was cute.
Because you were worried he was going to shovel it off the deck.
I was concerned, but he left it there.
Yeah, so we've had winter. I'd say for the Okanagan, it's definitely been a lot more snow than in past years. Well, accumulatively anyway, and consecutively days of snow and snow and snow. So I feel bad for the road crews. The roads have not been wonderful. Just taking our time traveling. And
it is what it is.
Yeah. But you didn't come here to hear about our weather.
No.
So let's
get come here for?
Knitting. I think it was knitting.
Yes.
So if we're looking down, it's because we have all our notes written down here, so we can stay on track. Or else I feel like I might repeat myself.
No.
Yeah, I might. or forget something.
Me too.
Anyway.
Yes.
So let's start off with finished objects, shall we? And I think there's one right here.
Woo-hoo!
I'll take it off because it's easier to show that.
It's beautiful.
So I think I've showed this a couple of times in the podcast, and I didn't actually intend to have it done right away. But this yarn was gifted to me by Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine, and that's backwards. She had knit this, so this is the Kyler by Isabel Kramer. So I'll start over here, and we'll just go across.
Look at that.
I'm gonna go up. I don't even know if we can get the whole thing in it. There we go.
There we go. Look at that all the way. So we've got lots of lace work here. And stockingette.
Yeah.
And show the very edge too. That's beautiful.
It goes like this. Is the very end of it. So you have a little bit of, is that the right way? Yeah.
It is.
A little bit of a lace work pattern there. And just the whole, it's beautiful.
The whole edge goes
so,
like that.
I don't know if I've told the story already, but she had one, she knit one, and I commented, I said, it's just absolutely beautiful. I love it. I would love to knit one in exactly the same colors of you. And she actually dyed her own yarn. Mm-hmm. So this is called Sweet Romance. And I can't remember the fingering. Yeah, her little dyes. Yeah. And she was my fibre share partner from before. So she had my mailing address. And actually surprised me and sent me the yarn in the mail with a sweet little note. And it actually brought me to tears. It was adorable.
Lovely lady.
And so I started this, I think, last spring because it was before the wedding. Mm-hmm. And it was great pre-wedding knitting. And then it kind of went in hibernation. It came out a couple times because you can see there's a lot of lace work happening here. And then I finished it New Year's Day. I wanted to finish it before 2020, and that just
good accomplishment.
So New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. And the way I've been wearing it actually is I think it was West Coast Woolies, one of the ladies on there, she had a big shawl.
Yes.
And she said the way to wear like a triangle shawl is you take the top and you fold it. So you can see I folded down a big chunk of it. So it's almost like a cowl. Mm-hmm. And then I like this point here with all the lace. Mm-hmm. So I go up, and over. Get my hair out of the way here. And then you have extra long tails, and I tie them. And just kind of, you can tie it to the side like that.
Oh, that looks really nice.
And that way you have this lovely bit here. And then I've also tied it and stuck it under. Mm-hmm. So you don't see the tie, and then you just
get
have
to see the beautiful lace.
Beautiful lace. So I don't know, I've been playing around with it, but this is kind of what I prefer. Oh my goodness, now I'm twisted. Anyway, tie your shawl how you want. This is how I tie mine right now. Mm-hmm. Because I have never had a shawl long enough that I can tie it, right? Yes. And I've seen those, what do you call them, like the shawl cuffs and stuff?
Yes.
And I just don't think that's something that I would use, usually because my hair is down and longer, and I think it would get caught in it. Like if I ever have a button on the back of my shirt, it always my hair gets caught in it.
I have a stick that has a little decorative end on it. I use it for a sweater.
Nice. Yeah,
just to hold it closed.
So yes, this is the Kyler. Interruption. This is the Kyler. I love it. If it wasn't so much work, I'd probably knit another one, like a nice dark one. Mm-hmm. Even like a black one. But honestly, there was a lot of yarn. I used almost 3 full skeins, and there's a lot of knitting. If I started it now, I wouldn't be ready till next winter.
I've recently looked at a shawl that has a whole bunch of different leftovers pieces in it. It's very colorful in a triangle shape. 2 triangles. It's very beautiful. I didn't find it. Okay. Oh, I have some finished objects. One that I can't show you because I've already sent it off to its new destination, and that's another pair of socks. Mm. But I have a picture to insert. So Milk is going to do that for us.
You can talk about them.
They were leftover yarn that I had, and I made the cuff white, and then I went down until I ran out of yarn on 2 socks at the same time, and then put white on the toe. And then an afterthought heel, which I've never done before. Yeah, so it turned out really good. I learned a lot, and it's a really good way to use up all that yarn that you have until it's finished, and then you can move on. So that was really exciting for me to learn that new
You'd never done an afterthought heel before?
No, never.
And you didn't like it on your foot, did you? Or that's...
I didn't like it as much as the heel flap and gusset.
That's my favorite. I just find with the afterthought... Depending on how you do it, if you put your waist yarn in, that's fine. But I didn't like the way that it kind of came in like around your heel and you were almost walking on the seam a little bit. So I didn't like that. And then the one that I'm working on now, it actually asks you to cut the yarn.
I'll help you with that. That's what I did.
But because I don't like the way that the afterthought fits, I think I might just put in a heel flapping gusset because I know that fits me well. I like it. I don't want to cut the yarn, special yarn.
What I found was if you only go down to 24 stitches and then do your Kitchener stitch, then it's going to cover your heel a little bit better, and that seam is more on the sides than on the bottom of your foot. So just have to experiment and see what works best for you. So, but it was a new technique for me, and I really enjoyed it. It was a nice change up.
Yeah, that's good.
And what else did I got? Oh, I showed you last time a rag rug that I was knitting. Well, the rag rug is done.
Woohoo!
So I've used yarn. No, I haven't.
Have you watched?
I've used strips of fabric.
And this is the one you showed last time?
Yes. Yeah. Strips of fabric and just knit them in a really long way. Can you see that?
Just the way that it is.
And just regular garter stitch.
Did you plan on having it this color
collection?
Yeah, or did you tie them together purposely like that? Or
I tried to do it a little bit of color coordination, and then it was a free-for-all after that. So,
have you washed it?
I haven't washed it yet. I think I'm going to use it as a bath mat because it should be really absorbent with all the cotton fabric that's in there. So done, yay, cool. Moving on. And I make fingerless mittens. I have a pattern that I make that's pretty cool, and I will put these on and show you. I call them monkey sock mittens because they have the sock that the monkeys usually wear, the monkey sock mittens.
Or like the old-fashioned work socks kind of thing. Yeah.
So that's
your own pattern.
My own pattern. And I'm going to give it to a friend because when it was dark, I don't know if you can see here, but there is some white as well as off-white. It would bother me if I gave them to someone that knew that it was there.
What? Before you even told me that, I don't think I would have even noticed.
It would be you would look and find it afterwards. You can't see it now, but they keep your hands nice and warm. And it's just knit 4, purl 4, and pick up the thumbs, and it's really good. And this kind of weather, perfect. So that one's done.
So I have another, finished objects, I guess you could say. So I think I've showed them. I don't even know if I showed them specifically because I had given them away.
I think you showed pictures.
So maybe. I'd ordered the Barrett Wool Company's by Susan B. Anderson, the Veggie Charm set. And I knit a set and I gave it away to a girlfriend. I talked about it in my very first episode. And the set of, actually that's why I had this here. The set that I ordered came with all the yarn. And as you can see, there is a ton left over here. So it's all the different, where am I?
Well, there we go.
All the different colors left over. So I had made one for her and I wanted to make another one for us. And then I had a client of mine that had asked if I would make one for her niece to give her for a delayed kind of Christmas birthday present. I thought, what the heck? Why not? I already had some made. So, I just finished that. So I'm going to show them in person because I can't remember if I did or not. So this one in the pattern is called the onion, but I think it looks like garlic. Matt keeps calling it garlic.
It could be a garlic.
Yeah.
It could be an onion.
A little tough. So onion or garlic.
Look at that. Isn't that the cutest little
cucumber
thing?
with the little bobbles. And I made a little mistake, and it's okay because I made a perfect little cucumber.
Get away.
This is called a beet, but I think it looks more like a radish. Sorry, the cat's kind of being a pest today.
Look at those little roots on there and the wonky top.
Carrot. I think I was playing with the gauge on this one because the tomato in conjunction with the rest of them looks more like a pumpkin. I mean, it is a red color.
Maybe if you pull the top through down a little bit. And the corn, look at those. Oh, so cute.
And the corn, they give you the option to be able to take the leaves completely off, but I didn't want to have them completely gone, so
the husk. So sweet.
Is that it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, no, there's peas.
Peas.
Peas in a pot.
I think if you were to pull that down a little bit, it would look like a tomato.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah. I just, I'm trying to, so I'm going to knit one. These are going to my client. I'm going to knit a set for us to keep at home. And I think what I was trying to do is because, like, even if you look at the carrot, like, that's not really to scale. at all. So I was trying to make them a little bit more, like the carrot needs to be longer, the tomato need to be big, not this one, but the other one that I had need to be bigger. The corn can be bigger, that kind of thing. So I was trying to make them a little bit more to scale for the kids. And because I have so much extra yarn, and why not, right? And it's as easy as adding a few more lengthwise and stuff like that.
You could also make this into a beet.
With an actual deep red color.
Yes.
Beet color. Yeah. So I finished those. They were really fun again. Super fast. It was hilarious because I was knitting the garlic onion, and I pretty much finished it on my lunch break. And we were sitting there the night, and it was the funny thing is when I finish it, I throw it at Matt when I'm done. And so I threw the cucumber, and it bounced off his head. And he's like, "Did you just knit that right now?" Yeah. So they're super fast, really fun. And like I said, when you order the kit, which I think she's sold out, but you get so much yarn for it that I have enough to make probably 2 more kits or 2 more sets.
And very creatively satisfying.
Yeah, yes. Very quickly creative. Yeah. Okay.
Do you have any other finished objects?
No, that's all my finished objects.
I have one more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What am I wearing?
Well, you've had this done for a while, and I keep telling you to show it or wear it or whatnot.
So this is called the Latitude.
Elizabeth Doherty?
Yeah. This is her pattern here.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And there's no latitude except for the knitting goes this way. And it's got a really unique design on it at the back. Short rows, and there's a...
Almost looks like an I-cord going on through there. Right?
It's similar.
Like
what do they call that? Braid.
Oh, okay.
That braid. And then down the side with the vent.
Yeah, that looks good.
And I made the sleeves long enough.
It's nice.
It's so light, soft.
A light fabric.
It is, what did I say? Lichen and lace.
Lichen and lace, yeah.
And it's called Sunburnt Lobster. I love the name because of being a redhead. I've also been burnt.
You bought the yarn at Knit City. No,
Yarn Okanagan.
Yarn Okanagan in Kelowna last
2018. 2018, not last year. We didn't get there.
That's right. There. Because that was the day we bought my wedding dress.
Yes.
That was the same day.
And it is such soft yarn. I've just fallen in love with it.
It's such a good color for you, too. I really like it. And even though you didn't include the latitude from the pattern, like in the way that it was speckled, and
I did change.
It gives you a little bit of a latitude. It looks really good. I like it.
I've learned a lot on it, and I modified it so it's not as wide on the side as it is in the pattern. You can see it's quite wide on the pattern.
But you're not wide, so that works better.
No, I like it like that, and it's probably not as long as the pattern either. But so that was a learning curve, and I did go to my local yarn store to get help with picking up stitches on the sleeve. So that was well worth the money. I think I've spoken about that before.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it when you wear it. Thank you. We're going to pull out the gleaner on it, though, because there's a little bit of pilling.
It's already pilling a bit.
But you've worn it quite a bit.
I have.
Yeah, and because of it being colder out, you're usually layering it or warmer and having, I find pilling happens if you have a little bit of dampness, too. Did you notice that? I find it. Because I'm always damp in my armpits, I find anything, it's a little bit, I don't know.
Moisture. Well, you think about wool and how you felt wool and you get moisture and the friction. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
So I think that's all the finished objects for now. I really wanted to have my weekender done, but
that's another story.
Yeah, I'm not even going to show it, and I'm not even going to talk about it because
surgery's involved.
Yeah, it's not done. Let's put it that way. It is looking better than. Yeah, a little frustrated with it.
Another day, and around the corner is Valentine's Day, and that means hearts and love. And I found something. I try and bring this out every year. This is something that I've made a long time ago. I made some mittens that were Fair Isle, Nordic knitting. And then I had leftover yarn, so I made this little square.
Cute. Go a little bit closer so that you can get your
see the details.
Better. Yeah.
And it was made with a very undyed yarn, so natural yarn. And it's just I just loved working with this yarn. I made several pairs of mittens with them and gifted them to others. Mm-hmm. And I would just really encourage you to have some fun, because I often go to the library and I order books and such. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have some fun. So this is a book that I got from the library.
Oh, Hygge Knits. Hygge
Knits.
Hygge. I should ask somebody I know.
There is a heart right there, and it tells you in this book how to do a chart. And I'll just flip that page over for you so you can have a quick look at that. There it is right there. Oops. Right
so this
there.
Is a book that you borrowed from the library recently?
Recently, yeah.
Not to make
that, but you can make any heart. You can make stars. You can make anything you want. I just wanted to share the hearts because that's part of what I like, and it's Valentine's Day.
Did you say that you had a pattern for that one, or that was just something you did on your own? It's so long ago.
I did it. I'm pretty sure I did it on my own and just figured out how many stitches. I just and to do the heart, and the floats are looking lovely.
Isn't it supposed to look like the back? The front's supposed to look like the back?
No, not in this kind of knitting. That's
color work.
That's double knitting. Color work.
I thought any kind of color work.
Nope. You got things to learn too.
Well, I have some color work to show, and the back looks like the front. And
really?
From what I've seen or heard, color work, if you're doing it properly and having your one yarn always to the top, and one to the bottom when you're doing it, your floats should.
Come on, share.
Should
me what you're talking about.
I don't know. I heard this after I had started these, and then someone had said, "Well, how's your color? What's your floats look like?" And I flipped it inside out, and it's the same. So anyway,
we're moving on to.
I feel like I'm really skipping ahead here, but that's just gonna have to.
These are works in progress.
Yeah. So I'm knitting the Waiting for Henry socks from Tabitha Gandhi. She was of the Hey Sister podcast.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've had her pattern for quite a long time. I think from when she very first released it. I'm doing the Waiting for Henry socks. So as you can see, I have some beautiful colors going on. I'm doing 2 at a time. Well, I did the color work on one, and then I thought, I need to do the color work on the other right away. And now I'm fairly close to 2 at a time. And these are the ones that call for the afterthought heel, and I'm totally not doing it. I'm putting in a heel flap and gusset because that just fits better to my foot. Mm-hmm.
And you're doing top down, so that
these are top down,
really good.
Yeah. And so
I want to see the inside.
So
those are floats.
Those are my floats. It's hard to do because I'm not really that far into it. But see,
it looks similar.
How it's supposed to kind of. I'm going to show yours again, Mom.
No.
It's supposed to kind of mimic your pattern a little bit. I don't know.
Can't you see hearts in there, folks?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that if you keep. I don't even have 2 colors on here to show, but if you keep your one to the top, so I always kept my lighter color to the top and the other one to the bottom as you carry it through, it's supposed to
look similar.
Yeah. Not like you're ever going to wear it inside out, but like as a knitter, does it matter? Anyway, one thing about these socks, so I started...
I've learned something new too.
I started the socks on a circular. I don't know if I have the circular in here.
This is really smart to have 2 at a time. Then you know your socks are going to be the same size too.
Freaking thing. And so the one sock you can see, one is kind of scrunchy and the other one's not. This one is scrunchy. Was on here.
I just heard the other day that if you use your circular... No. I had the same problem when I used them. And someone said, knit inside out when you're knitting. So instead of having your stockinette stitch on the outside, have your stockinette stitch on the inside.
Yeah, well, I need to give this a fair chance without color work, maybe, because that was just so much going on in such a teeny tiny little space. And I'm knitting these for me, so I only have 54 stitches because I have very small feet. Mm-hmm. And I like my socks to fit tight. But this just was like, I still have a callus on my finger because these are quite sharp.
They are.
I don't even know what these are.
Chagu, yeah.
Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And once I finished the color work, I got rid of it. I picked up my DPNs, and thank goodness I have 2 sets of DPNs on these ones. These are the Knitter's Pride Carbons, I believe. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing I did too, is I knit one, purl one, and then my rib is backwards.
Still works.
It looks interesting. I like it.
It still works.
So anyway, a little bit of a jag.
There's a trick though for that, and I'll share that with you.
Okay.
Yeah, the future.
Actually, I noticed that on the beat too. Mm-hmm. Because it's the color work.
And I've just recently learned that as well. So yeah.
So yeah, I have consecutively decided, because I've tried with this before with something else, that I am way faster, way more proficient, nicer knitting stitches, not so scrunchy without that.
DPNs.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite.
I don't know, when I first started, I thought they were a pain in the butt, and I have done the magic loop 2 at a time, and that pair of socks is still sitting in a bag with like this much.
So you have 2 sets of DPNs? Same size?
No, because I recently got the second set of different needles.
2 sets of
these.
And
so I have 2 sets of the 0mm US.
Which I think is 2 1/4?
I can't remember.
I think so.
It's wearing off on here. So yeah. These are waiting for Henry socks. And the cool thing about this yarn, so I have all the information on my Ravelry page about the orange and the blue. It's just for a couple of mini skeins that I had. I think this was a unicorn tail, and this was a gift from a different fibre share buddy. Mm-hmm. But this yarn came from Italy. So my mother-in-law and her husband came back from Italy, I want to say 2 years ago now, that we're in 2020. This yarn is from grapes that made made wine. They took the seconds of the grapes and they dyed yarn. So we're losing our color because, of course, we like to podcast late in the afternoon. But it's not really grapey. There's some tinges of it. It's like a beigey gray, and I feel like it's a typical yarn color that you would get from just using anything to dye, like it kind of like that. But I noticed there's some very subtle purpley pinky hints in it.
And it's when you look at the stockinette stitch, there is variation.
Yeah.
Yeah, of depth.
Yeah.
Of color.
So either way, I'm excited to finally use it because I've had it for a couple of years.
It's really nice base to accentuate the other colors that you have in there.
And it's really squishy. Yeah. She said she had made her husband a pair of socks while they were there with the yarn. He loves them and they wear well. So that's what I just decided to do with that. So I'm really happy with that. Waiting for Henry socks.
Yay.
Yeah. And I don't have any plans to have them done anytime soon because I have other things that I cast on. What are you working on?
Well, I had a pair of slippers that blew out, so I tossed them. So slipper time it is. So I have a little story to tell about slippers. I am making...
That's not slippers.
Yeah, they are. That's slippers. Mm-hmm. I am making slippers. They're Aunt Maggie's slippers, and they're a free download on Ravelry. And a story about these kind of slippers. I don't know if you can see the slipper right up there, but you'll see it on Ravelry if you look up Aunt Maggie's.
Let me see that so I can
when my children were little, we had a dear friend named Mary, and Mary liked to make slippers like these. And she would make little slippers with the pom-poms on for my girls. And it was so special. And so we always called them Mary slippers because her name was Mary. So all 3 of our daughters got Mary slippers from time to time. That's what I'm making with leftover yarn. I guess this is the right side.
Is that a garter?
So it is a garter stitch. And so what I do is you knit. I'm probably going the wrong direction. Knit and purl. Knit and purl, and the other side is just knit. So you've got these garter stitch bumps, and then I have run out of this yarn, so I've added into another yarn, and when I run out of that yarn, I'm going to add in a red yarn, and the yarn that is the one that will stay is this acrylic yarn. So all the other ones are wool, and this one is acrylic. So we get that warmth with the really good working acrylic yarn. So when it's done, the end is sewn up at the back and the toe is sewn up at the end, and then stitch the top.
I have a pair of slippers like that, similar from a client, but I think they're crocheted.
It could be. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm making myself a pair of slippers.
Those are for you.
2 at a time.
I was thinking those look huge.
2 at a time on the same yarn or the same needle.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, so I'm looking forward to have those because it's always nice to have an extra pair if you've got one in the laundry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm started. I've got plans. But
that's
did you want to?
Okay.
That's all I've started.
So yeah, I finished my Kyler.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I finished something else. Oh, the Weekender. I had that whole thing happen. And what else? Oh, I finished the vegetables.
Yes.
And whenever I finish things, I always have empty project bags.
Oh, no.
And in my project bags, I am a little particular about my project bags. So in my project bags, I have a matching Notions pouch.
Oh my goodness, so organized.
Notion pouch. I have all of those things. I have my stitch markers, etc. And as you get done a project, you have loose stitch markers, you have yarn, you have hair elastics, like you name it, right? So when I'm done all my projects or finished projects, I open up all my project bags, Notion pouches, and I go through and I make sure all the matching stitch markers are together, and the black needles with the black or the black scissors are in the black because I know that that's where it goes, right? And I know my felter is in here, my darning needles are in my other one. I know that that's where they are.
Everybody's got their own system.
Next project we'll talk about. I am split splicing. And I had to YouTube how to do it because I forgot.
Yes. So
basically, and don't do it after your morning coffee, or else your yarn smells like
coffee or whatever else you've been eating. But basically it is you take the 2 ends of your yarn, you take open up the plies, you put one ply together and you wiggle it around each other, and the next ply, depending on how many plies you have, and you spit on them and wiggle them and sort of felt them a little bit and then twist them back into itself.
See,
and
the way that I was shown, or the YouTube video that I was shown, is you take your 2 ends and you overlap them. So one's here and one's here, and you want to get a good few inches. You kind of open the fibers a little bit, and you put them across, and you put one in your hand like this.
Yes.
And you put your other one
on top
the other way. So you're going like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
You're going like this.
You want to use
one way, one the other way.
Yes.
In your hand, and you're there like this, side by side, and you lick your hand and you rub. And you lick your hand and you rub and you rub, and it works. I can't even show you an end because it's in my next project that I'm working on.
I think it depends on how thick your yarn is, and because if you have 2 thick yarns, you're going to have like super thick. It depends on the type
of yarn for sure. And I don't always love that one, depending on what I'm working on.
And where it lands in your garment.
Yeah, I've actually taken a row back so that my end was on like under a sleeve
instead
or
of
a top
on the front.
too.
You don't want that.
I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, my project bags.
Yes. Sorry, we should get sidetracked.
This is what happens when we don't follow the script.
And we're trying to take advantage of the
daylight, which is disappearing quickly, and we did get all grainy. So I go through all the bags and I sort everything out, and then I sit there and I contemplate, what am I going to cast on? I honestly do. I go through my Ravelry queue. I look at Instagram. I always kind of have an idea of what I want to knit, but I am a monogamous knitter. I am, but I'm not because I get bored. I get bored. So I did the Waiting for Henry socks. I started those, and then my lovely husband has been bothering me for several years now to knit him a sweater. And right around Christmas time, Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine. Hi, Amanda. Again, you're my absolute favorite friend I've never met. She knit her guy a Ranger by Jared Flood. And it was on Instagram, and I saw it, and I showed it to Matt, and I said, look at this sweater. I should show it. Oh, no, you have to follow her. I'm not going to show her picture.
You have to go and find it.
You have to go find her on Instagram. Really, and she did it for her guy, and it's a dark gray, and Matt says, I want that sweater. Cool.
It's a really nice guy sweater.
Matt is a big guy. He's tall. He's a size large. Like, he's not a big guy, but he's a bigger man. I have a tough time finishing the damn weekender for me. And he wants a sweater. So I thought, well, I don't know. So I look on it. It's Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. And I know you can, like, my weekender was supposed to be Shelter. And I did it out of, what was that, Baroque Vintage?
Yes, Vintage or DK? I can't remember.
No, yours is DK. Mine's Vintage. Okay. Yeah. So I know you can substitute different yarns, but I just thought, if I'm going to make him a sweater, I'm going to make him a really nice one. Mm-hmm. He's going to love it. He's going to have it for a long time, and he's going to wear it not fishing or to work.
Out to dinner.
And like in the label, the back. If this is all, yeah.
Yeah. Special occasion. And it's a casual looking sweater, but it looks really smart.
Yeah, it's, well, I can show the picture of Ranger.
Yes, and it's a real guy sweater, and it's made for our weather. Yeah, it's made for our weather. Yeah. It's just really nice. It's a Canadian kind of look, and you're going to show it there?
Well, I'll just show, because this is the one that comes with the pattern.
Mm-hmm. But you should look up on Amanda Sweet Skein of Mine.
Yeah, so that I'm obviously not doing it in red.
And was his buttons, or was it a zipper?
Buttons. And I'll probably do buttons from that as well. So it's got a really nice texture to it. Oh, you're getting the glare. Anyway, you can find it. I'll put the information at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So I went online, and I'm looking at Shelter and going, oh my gosh, this is going to be like a $200 sweater. FYI, you people in the States, be very, very thankful that you don't pay exchange or shipping or anything like that, because us in the Canadian dollar is not fun.
No.
So I found it in Kelowna at Art of Yarn, and this is Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in the colorway Soot.
Now look at that. Now that is going to make a beautiful sweater. Oh my goodness, look at that.
You want to hold those for me?
Sure.
There you go.
Look at that.
Sorry for the crinkling.
So a deep gray with a little bit of fluffy things in it. Look at all this yarn. Yarn happiness.
I have so much knitting to do.
But I think
I got 12 or 13 skeins because I didn't want to run out. And I thought if I had to, there could be mittens or a hat or something else involved after.
And it's an outer layer that this is making. And what have you decided what needle you use, or have you done the swatch?
So I did my gauge.
Yes.
And Jared Flood was the same designer as my Freya cardigan, the cream one. Mm-hmm. Well, I have to be careful because some of those were a different color dye lot.
It'll say on there the dye lot.
Yeah. So
what needle are you doing it on?
I went down one from the suggested needle.
Okay.
So that Jared Flood, I know with his patterns, as with my Freya, I have to go down a needle size. So I did a swatch.
And did you wash it too?
Yeah, I washed it and dried it. And
oh my goodness, look at that.
Fibre fill in here from my vegetables. So it's a really nice stitch pattern.
Can you see that with darkness behind it?
Probably not. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, we'll try and wrap up so you can see colors better. That's the swatch. But I have a part of a sleeve.
Already?
Yeah.
Look at you go, girl. Wow.
Like I said, I started to cast stuff on. It is. And feel it without it being washed, though. It's kind of rough.
It is a bit rough.
So I find it's on my hands it's a little bit rough.
Oh,
but yeah, it's really lovely. And that wasn't even a too aggressive of a wash. It just soak and then dry, right? So I didn't even block that at all. But I had to go down an eagle size from that.
Eucalan or something like that, it'll even soften it up more.
I can't remember if I even used any wool wash. I think I just did. Yeah. Anyway, you can see the stitch pattern a little bit better on there. And if you are knitting this pattern, be very diligent with your information from Ravelry of people who have knit it before. I actually put the notes on my Ravelry page as well. I just copied and pasted them from another one because you are adding a stitch.
Stitch markers.
Your increases. There's several.
So I have to do 13. You can see how they're changing through here, and this is why you have to be really careful.
Yeah, like it's really hard to see in this light, but you can see. Anyway, go on Ravelry, have a look at my Ravelry page. Like I said, I copied and pasted it. But because of the stitch pattern that you have going on, you want to keep it good. And every increase row, you're adding 2 stitches on either side of your center marker. And you have to pay attention to it because it's, for a few rounds, instead of doing the purl one, slip one, purl vise with the yarn in the back, you're purling 2 together or slipping 2 together or whatever it is.
So you have to pay close attention.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of why this is slowing down for me a little bit, is because I have to think about it. I have to really count my rows.
So in the pattern itself, does it say start with the sleeves?
Yeah.
It does. Probably just to get that done and over with so you can go on to the easier part.
Well, because I'm still on Sleeve Island on a couple different projects, so... Send a boat! Yes. Send a boat!
Oh, a little... So on this one, I did some short rows, and then I got to the point where it was just straight knitting without that complication, and then I did 2 at a time. And that was much easier.
So yeah, I feel like I said, I'm a monogamous knitter, so I feel like now that I've got the veggies done, waiting for Henry is kind of at like the leg part where I just need to really think about whether or not I'm going to... what type of heel and how to put it in there. I feel like I'm just going to go gung-ho on this now and get this sleeve done. And I was worried because it looks pretty big. Like, when I put it on, like, that's big on my arm. But then I measured it to one of his favorite, like, just hoodie sweatshirts, and it's pretty accurate. It's a little bit bigger through here. And then I just kept getting him to put it on. So but he gave me a couple increases because I thought, because some of the patterns said that the pattern pages said that it increased too fast. And so I thought
then you can wear something else underneath it in the wintertime if you so desires.
Yeah, that's the idea, because it's going to be a cardigan. So it's good. I have to do 13, and every 8 rows, 13 increases, and then every 6 rows or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but I'm happy with it so far. I'm on my 2nd skein already, so that's why there's so much, because if that's only a skein right there, and I split spliced.
Say that 7 times.
So it smells like coffee.
Oh, you should make some mint tea for your next splice.
Don't tell him, he doesn't watch this. Oh. And again, what do you know?
Oh, look at that! Wow.
And it matches.
Not me. Give me color. Look at this.
I had somebody ask where I got all of... I mean, I love that. I do. But it's just something... It's like Lisa from Espace Tricot. Everything is just... It all flows together. It's calm. Yeah. And all your little stitch markers match what you know. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I just like to have lots of variety. Oh. I actually have a jackknife with a pair of scissors on it in one spot.
All my gold ones are in this one. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yes, I think that's all that I've cast on to this point. Yes.
You'll be a monogamous until you get a little bit bored of this, and then you'll start something else.
We're going away
I'll
this
make
weekend.
you a new project bag. How about that? Then you can start another project.
Is it going to have a knit notions pouch that matches?
I can't guarantee.
Okay. Well, we're going away this weekend and to the hot springs.
Oh, lucky.
So I'm going to bring a sweater to knit on because Well, I'll probably bring the socks too. Just why not?
See what you feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always nice to do. You've got the room. Why not?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one thing too, where did I stick that now? Did it fall down already?
What's that? Lost. See, all these project bags, you can lose things, even though you are coordinated. What are you looking for?
Did you bring a ravioli?
I think I did bring ravioli. Yes, I did. I think there's one in here.
I think it fell down somewhere. I'm gonna find it for the cat.
Ravioli. Oh, you guys have to
one
know
thing, because I can smell it in my bag, so I don't really know where it went. One thing my mom has recently done and gifted to me and she calls them ravioli.
Lavender
sachets?
ravioli sachets.
Sachet. Oh, there it is. It was in there.
There it is, upside down.
That was mine. This is lavender from your garden. That's the coolest thing.
I dried it and decided to make these.
You gave me 3 at Christmas. And I stuffed them in my project bags. And then you just recently did more. And it smells so good. Like, you open up your project bag, and I personally like lavender. I fluff on my nose. I personally really like lavender. I didn't used to because I landscaped, and cutting lavender in plus 30 degrees with the dust, can't really say it's relaxing. No. But
another reason that it's really good to have lavender in your knitting bags or in your drawers is because lavender deters moths from coming into your knitwear and your projects that you may be putting away for another day. So that's something to think. It's really, really easy to go and trim off those buds of your lavender. Just dry them. Like put them in a brown bag.
Tiny little lavender
just squish them all up and they all fall down. And I've got a jar with a wooden spoon, and I just scoop out and make a little stamp of the sheep. So
it's adorable, and I love opening up my bag because it smells like lavender, and you're working away, and
if it loses smell, you just squish it up some more, and it comes back.
I think that's all that I've cast on.
I have any acquisitions?
Yes. Yes, I do. I won't show it all because it is quite substantial. I'll put in some photos. Really? I received my fibre share package from Denmark.
Oh my goodness. So lucky girl.
So I'll put in a little clip. I don't know if it'll be at the end or right now or whatever it is, but New Year's Eve day, when I turned around and came home, I thought, I'll stop and get the mail on my way to my mom's, because we had no coffee cream. I can't remember. I wanted coffee, and Mom was home.
Sink getting fixed that day?
No, that was like a couple months ago.
Okay. It's a good thing we're next to each other, not too far away yet.
And so Copper needed I can't say too loud, a walk. And I needed coffee, and I figured Mom was home, Matt was plowing the driveway, Dad was coming home from work from plowing, and I just thought, I'll stop and grab the mail. Well, thank goodness I already had a bag with me. I'll put the video in, but I'm trudging through the snow that has not been plowed. It is dumping snow on me, and I'll put the video in here. Okay, so decided to go for a walk to my mom's because we are out of coffee cream, and because I decided to turn around from work, not driving. There's a lot of snow out here. Copper is stoked. Hey, can you slow down? Thank you. And I decided to pick up the mail, and guess what was in the mailbox? Yeah, we're walking straight leash, as you can see, but look at what was in the mailbox. My fibre share package, all the way from Denmark. So I'm gonna go open it with my mummy. Yay!
What does Jody and Tracy say? Party in the mailbox.
Party in the mailbox. It was a party in the mailbox.
Oh my goodness.
And it's really cool because my other fibre share package I got to open with Mom.
Yes.
That was from Michaela from France, wasn't it? That one was really cool.
So, yes.
So, and my gosh, was I spoiled rotten. There was these little ginger elderberry candies in there. I'll take a full box full. Like, they were I think I shared one with you, and then I'm like, you can't have any more. I'm sorry, Mom. These are for me.
Beautiful.
So I picked out my absolute favorite thing from that box to share. And this is, here, you can squish one.
Oh, thank you.
This is made in the UK. Annabelle Williams. Cool wash. What is it? Velvet Rose is the color. It's a 4-ply, 100% Falkland Merino. And it's dyed with avocado. It's so soft. I like, the color is, we have to get a light, avocado. I think. What do they call it? Velvet Rose? Velvet Rose. Yeah, there you go.
Falkland Merino.
Natural dye is never superwash. Organic where possible. Traceable, ethical, sustainable. Thank you. Like, this is just, like I said, if I got a box full of this and those elderberry ginger candies, I would have died to gone to heaven. But I already did with all the other stuff, too.
Look,
I know. Hey, look at that. Now I need a project bag. So I don't know what to cast on. This is going to be something very special.
I wonder.
Yeah, because if you follow like a wooden nest,
yes,
she does avocado pits, and she does it with iron as well, and it gives it a richer color. Yeah. So yes, this is my main acquisition. Mostly because I keep staring at it and squishing it, and it hasn't gone in my stash box yet.
It would look really nice.
No, you can. Maybe it's a shawl. I don't know, because it does kind of. It does drain me out.
It doesn't really. The color. The camera's not doing a good job. It's pretty. It's very pretty. Yeah. It's sort of a browny, rusty.
Like that package was just incredible, and you can tell by my excitement from the video that I got it. Yeah, that's my acquisition for today, I guess. Did you get anything?
I did. I started making. You said you didn't. Well, I did and I didn't. I had some yarn that I started making the ranunculus, and I wasn't happy with the fabric that came with that, so I went to my local yarn store, and I found some.
Oh, you knit with the white
Silky Kid, Super Kid mohair and silk.
Ooh.
Look at that fluffiness on there.
I thought you didn't want it with mohair.
Well, I wasn't too sure about mohair, but this is kid mohair and silk, so it's got less of a long. It doesn't have as long of a fiber. So yeah, and I'm still playing with gauge.
Does it bother you?
I wasn't sure.
You put my Bennett on for a bit, but that was Silk Cloud.
Yeah, it's got a longer fiber to it. I think this one's a bit shorter. So this is the beginning, but it's not much yet. And I want it to be a little bit less see-through because it is white.
Did you hold the mohair with that already?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I have to take this apart. It was just, we've had Evie.
And I have a problem being matchy-matchy.
Is there something in there that matches?
I don't know. Is there? No, you don't have it in here.
I don't have it in there.
But like, look, come on. Where do I get it from? You should have told me you needed mohair. I think I have some mohair. I don't know if it's white though. Oh, you know what would be really pretty with that is like that dusty rosy color.
Oh, yes. No, I think I'll just go
kind of like this.
Yeah, but it really changes the color.
It does, actually. Jody and Tracy were talking about that because they had the Love Note sweater they were talking about, and they showed a picture of the little gal that had designed the pattern and knit it, and
she used several colors throughout it, but then the mohair was one color, and it changed it. It really softened all the other colors quite a bit. Yeah, it was really, really interesting that they shared that with us, and so I want it to stay white. So one is a little bit whiter than the other. So maybe, yeah. And my plan is to knit the body and then come back to the sleeves and just see how far I go with the sleeves. And there was a tip that the lady, Camila at our local yarn store said, if you're running out low on your mohair, knit every other round with your mohair and it'll still look
like
on your on your cuff. your ribbing at the bottom and on the sleeves. So that was a really good. But that's a concern. Yarn Chicken, I'm going to be playing
because they only had one skein.
They have two, but still, the yardage is different.
Yeah,
so I have more yardage of this than I do the mohair.
When I knit my Bennett sister shawl, the yarn, you're working white on white.
Yes.
The yarn that I used was undyed Julie Aslin. You know, I can't remember. And the mohair that I used was bright white.
Oh, so it softened it.
It softened the mohair. Yeah. So you're going to take that out.
Yes.
Is this the...
And it's too tight.
Is this the neck?
That's the neck. This is the neck here. It's too tight.
So I was going to say, yeah.
I did it.
It's like my weekend.
I gauged, but you can see.
Did you gauge with the mohair?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I see.
So this is what I wanted, but then it was going to be way too tight. And this is what they suggest is this gauge up here. And that would be too loose. So I'd want to wear it without anything underneath it because the garment itself, the ranunculus is designed to have as a second layer when you wear it.
Yeah, it's quite a loose.
Yeah, it's quite loose.
I have yarn and the pattern for the ranunculus. I think I showed it. It's the pink peony mohair and it's from Chelsea Lux. I think I showed it on here. I have not cast it on because I don't think I would wear that color as a sweater. However, it's very similar to this, like maybe a little bit lighter.
What about if you added a different color mohair and just give it a little pizzazz?
Could. I ordered it together. I feel like a really pretty little girl's dress or something like that might come out.
Something to think about when you're making things for children.
I saw the ranunculus that Christy Glass knit, and she did her little video on it, and it looked amazing on her, and she's just so cute and spunky, and I thought, I want to be that. It was also like 11 o'clock at night.
Yes.
So I went to Chelsea Lux, and I ordered it.
Thank you.
And, I don't know. It's in my stash, and it's very pretty, and it's pink peony, and
when you make things for children, you always have to think about how you're going to launder it, because, of course, children... They're children, and
it would be for somebody that I would be laundering it for. So, yes, no, I'm not pregnant. No.
What's on my radar though is, and I'm going to ask Color Adventures to dye some yarn for me for it.
What color? Are you doing gray and white?
No, I'm going to use that beautiful yellow that's very fashionable right now, and not white,
kind of the mustardy yellow.
Just a little bit. It's not sort of creamy, but I can't remember the name of it. But it just looks so good together. I was there the other day, and I thought, "This is my next sweater." And she says, "Well, let me know, and we'll dye it up for you." So, yeah.
Jody and Tracy of Grocery Girls just did. Well, Jody just finished the Super Simple Summer Sweater.
Yes.
A bunch of different colors.
Nice.
Which is cute. But you know what? I thought I have really nice, big, chunky, blocked. Like, I don't love the chevron of that one. This is from Espastrico.
Espastrico.
But I liked...
When Melissa...
Super Simple is Hohi, right? Hohi Locatelli? Did you get...
Or Tin Can, I'm not sure.
I think it's Hohi Locatelli because they were talking about her.
Yeah.
Yeah. A nice soft, like very similar to these colors.
But this, I believe, is more of a fingering weight.
Yeah, I have to get my weekender done and wear it because...
Probably this, same as this.
I'm not allowed to cast on this sweater until that one is done. And it's in trouble, so...
Well, if you're running into problems with that, I could give you permission. Sometimes we need okay, just let me have a look at that. I also
really want to pull out and finish my Shibui. It's that really nice light shirt. What is it called? Oh, shoot.
Oh, I remember it. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So
I'll
you're
show
not
it another time.
as monogamous as you think you are.
No, I am. It's just that one is really light. and it is more like a summer thing, and I have the front done or the back done, and I'm like 3/4 of the way up, and then it got cold, and I thought, why am I knitting this? I'm not going to wear it in the winter.
Yes.
So.
Yes, you're like me. Knit for the season that you're in.
I didn't even bring it out this season.
Next,
it's really hard to put something away and hibernate and then pull it out. Like this one, I had to pull back a few rows to figure out where it was to be able to keep going. Yeah. So, anyway.
I have to stop at a good spot.
We can go on and on and on, but it's getting dark, and our problems we ran into last time is dinner time. So I need to I think I'm making tacos for dinner. I found some really yummy ripe avocados that are going to be fantastic guacamole.
Yummy,
and I got some ground turkey instead of beef, and I'm going to do a taco for dinner, I think.
Yeah. Anyway. I actually made tacos.
And I have.
The flour. Masa flour. I have the
shells,
Yes.
I have that green verde. That you made me too.
Yes.
Did I have to put that in the fridge?
Well, if you've opened it, I probably would put it in the fridge. No, not until you've opened it. Started using it. We use that on our tacos. I don't even know if I should eat
that now. Okay.
Last night. Oh, it was so good. We were getting all our stuff all organized. And then
that was Saturday or last night?
Night before last.
Right.
Oh, it was so good.
She sends me a message. Because my sister was in Mexico. Just because we're not in Mexico doesn't we don't get to eat Mexican. And I think that's probably why I'm craving tacos. But you guys did fish. Anyway,
we had fish.
We're going on and on.
Do you want to see a picture, or should I even share that?
What, of your tacos?
Oh, my tacos. Oh. Look at that. Can you even see it? Ooh.
Sometimes you have to
change it up. I don't know.
It looks
we're
delicious.
going on here.
We're going
so
on. Anyway, we're already hungry. After an hour.
Oh, we're done.
Mind you, I take chunks out, but we did pretty good today, I think.
Yeah.
Were you as nervous?
A little bit. We just seem to. Well, I find that I try to fit a lot in quickly and maybe not be as thoroughly.
Well, the grocery girls were 2 hours.
But I didn't speak as clearly as possible.
Last time or today?
Yeah. Today.
I was jumbled today because
Well, you had a busy day before we even started.
Got my hair done.
Yeah, isn't it pretty?
It looks good.
She got a whole bunch cut off of it.
And then, it's
lovely
actually
colors to it.
But that's what happens when we just go away from the...
Yeah. So,
thank you for tuning in.
Gents.
And thank you again. I love the comments. I try and comment on everybody's reply, even the bad ones. Nicely, of course. And the liking and the subscribing is so cool. Please share, subscribe, comment. Find us on Ravelry, Instagram.
Ask questions.
I've had a very good rapport with a couple different people already, back and forth. New friends, knitting friends, and it's just that's why I started this. I'm sure that's why Mom has joined me.
Yes, to join other knitters and share.
Share
and learn.
To make friends that you wouldn't normally make friends. Like I said, Amanda in New Brunswick is one of my favorite people who I have never met. And one day I will meet her, hopefully. She's always welcome. Come to British Columbia.
And something that I talked with about a friend recently is when we had all our snow and it was so cold and nobody was going anywhere. I was just at home thinking, I should just go to the local coffee shop and take my knitting and just have a cup of coffee and just chat with somebody.
I should hook you up
cabin fever
with Vicky. She is always inviting me to Saturday, the library, and Tuesday nights at Blend's Coffee.
Oh.
And I haven't yet to go because it's just busy. But
anyway. Life happens.
Life happens. Speaking of life, we need to go and eat because my tummy's growling.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in. It is a lovely, lovely time with you all, even though we can't see you.
And knit on and just enjoy
or crochet
and watch your favorite show.
Yeah.
Find your resources.
I hope we have inspired you in some way today. If not, to follow your show notes.
And Miyoka is very good at doing that.
Not today.
Because I don't. I'm not as computerized.
Here we go again. Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.